To begin today, we'll start with our warm-up. Our first warm-up, we are simply solving the equation. We have negative 48 divided by negative 4 divided by negative 4. And remember to follow the order of operations, or PEMDAS. So, we start with parentheses. We do not have any operations within our parentheses, so we are good. No exponents, no multiplication, but we have division. Remember, go left to right. So we start with negative 48 divided by negative 4. And that gets us 12. Remaining, we have divided by negative 4. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. The second warm-up is saying to combine like terms. So we have positive 4x minus 52y minus 31z plus 64y minus 16z minus 23x. So first I'm going to combine my x terms. So I have 4x minus 23x. And that leaves me with negative 19x. Next, we have negative 52y plus 64y, which turns up to be 12y. And then we have negative 31z minus 16z, which is negative 47z. Today's I can statement is I can express change as a percent when working with markdowns. And so this will help you figure out prices if something's on sale, which I use a lot because I absolutely love to go shopping and get new things. And so I can figure out how much I'll have to pay for an item without looking for a sign. To begin today, we have two things that we really need to understand. The first is how to find the markdown amount. And all we have to do is use the percent equation, which we did a few days ago. And so the markdown amount is going to be the percent markdown times the whole, or the initial cost. And that's simply the percent equation, and that will get you the markdown. So, in the equation then, we take the cost, or the whole, what we start with, minus our markdown of the percent equation, and that equals the sale price, or the reduced price. And the most important thing to remember when we're working with percent values in equations, so with this percent value right here, remember we have to put the percent in decimal form. It has to be a decimal. We cannot leave it as a whole number, otherwise your answer will be wrong. So our first problem today is that when I was shopping at Piggly Wiggly yesterday, I bought bagels for $2.30. Today in their ad, they're advertising that they're 15% off. What's the new price, or the sale price for my bagels? So, I like to start with finding markdown. I like to see how much that is first. And remember, markdown is our percent equation. So we take our percent in decimal form, 0.15, times the whole, or the beginning cost, $2.30. And that gives us 35 cents. And now we take the markdown and other information and we put into the equation. So we start with the initial cost, or $2.30, minus our markdown of 35 cents, and that equals our sale price of $1.95. And that's all there is. Our second example is I love shopping at Kohl's. And last week I bought a new pair of shoes that were normally $65. They were 55% off. How much did I pay for my new shoes? Or what was the sale price of my new shoes? So, I'm going to start with finding my markdown. which is using the percent equation. So we take our percentage, or 0.55, times the whole of 65, which is our initial, and that gives us the markdown of 35.75. Then to finish our equation, we take the cost, or the whole price, of $65. We minus our markdown of 35.75, and that will equal our sale, or the new price, of $29.25 for my new shoes that are absolutely adorable. Our next example is a little different. So we start with on Monday, the temperature was 24 degrees. And that's going to be the whole, or the initial cost, which is now temperature. By Wednesday, the temperature was down to 9 degrees. So that's the new, or the sale. What percentage decrease in temperature was there from Monday to Wednesday? So we're finding percentage, remember that. So typically I would start with my markdown. And I know my markdown is the percentage times the whole of 24. However, percentage is unknown, so we can say 24 times the unknown x. And now we plug it into our equation. So it was 24 is the start, minus the markdown of 24x, and that equals our sale, or the new temperature, of 9. And now we need to solve our equation for x. So we subtract 24 from both sides, and we get negative 24x equals negative 15. Divide by negative 24, and that leaves us with x equals 0.625. However, remember, this is in decimal form. So then this is a decimal. And we need to change it to a percent. In order to do so, remember, we multiply by 100. So we end up with 62.5%. And that is our percentage decrease. It decreased by 62.5% in price, or temperature in this case. This next problem is also another tricky one. So we have to make sure we read carefully. So at Best Buy, there's a 48-inch TV that I've been waiting to buy. This month, the TV is on sale for $1,200. The website says that the TV is 45% off. What is the original price of the TV? So this time we are given our percent and the sale cost, and we need to find the original cost. So, like always, I've started with markdown, and we can do that again. Markdown is the percentage, so in this case 0.45, times the original, which is unknown, so we'll call it x. So 0.45x is our markdown. So when we put into the equation, we start with the original, which we've called x, minus our markdown, 0.45x, equals our sale of $1,200. Remember, in front of this x, there is a 1. So we have 1x minus 0.45x, which is 0.55x, equals 1,200. Divide by 0.55 on both sides, and we're left with x equals $2,181.82. And that was the original price of our TV. Some things to remember before you begin your assignment is percentages need to be in decimal form when you use them in an equation. When you get a decimal, you have to multiply by 100 to get you a percent. Also, you want to always remember to write equation carefully. Don't rush. Take it slow. Read the problem, see what it's really asking for you to find. And then use what we have and solve for the unknown. So use what you have and solve for the unknown. Good luck.